Hi everyone, welcome to Ask an Armourer. My name's Kia and today I'll be showing you part of the process for how to rewire your foil. If you watch my videos on how to do this for epee, it's basically the exact same process, just with some tweaks to accommodate for 2 wires in epee versus 1 wire in foil. I'm going to break this down over several videos so that I can show you a couple different techniques for each phase, as well as go over the pros and cons that I've found for all of these. There's no objectively correct method. I have had success with everything I'm going to show you, as well as none of these are comprehensive, that these are the only possible techniques you can use. If you know other techniques or have learned from other armorers, they may have told you something else. Of course, the most important thing is to have a functional weapon within the technical requirements at the end of the process. So, just like with all the tool recommendations I've given you, I will always encourage you to try out a variety of things until you find what works best for you and what is most comfortable. So, with that being said, on to today's bit. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you what I call the wire rolling method for removing old wire and glue. It's really important to make sure that your foil groove is completely cleaned out of old glue before you start the re-gluing process, as any residue can lead to poor contact and a greater possibility of popped wires. And while popped wires aren't impossible to deal with, I just find them really annoying to fix. To begin, you'll need to make sure that your foil is completely disassembled, including the tip being taken off. To do that, all you need to do is reverse the steps that I do in my video on how to assemble a foil, and to remove the tip you just need to follow the steps for tightening of tip, just turning it counterclockwise as opposed to clockwise. I'll link both those videos for your reference below. For this, all you'll need is your blade, some needle nose pliers or an Allen key, and a utility knife. I also recommend having some acetone and a towel on hand. To start, wrap the remaining end of wire a couple times around the Allen key, or just pinch it in your pliers. Make sure you keep your tool right next to the blade so all of the pulling force goes into removing the wire and not straining it in different directions. Then slowly start rolling down the blade. If all goes well, this should roll the wire right out of the groove and neatly coil it up onto the tool you're using. There, as you can see, nicely, completely removed wire coiled up on my pliers. Once the wire has been completely removed, wipe the blade down with the towel using some acetone. Then take your knife and start scraping the glue out of the groove. Take your time to be careful for your own safety and always make sure the blade is pointed away from you. You'll also likely need to make a few passes to make sure it's as clean as possible. The main benefit of this technique is time savings. As you can see, it doesn't actually take that long to remove the wire, assuming it all comes out properly in one piece, and scraping out the old glue isn't that bad as well as the end. So if you're really pressed for time and you just need to get this rewire done, this might be the proper technique for you to use. However, this technique does have some potential drawbacks. The first is that the wire can break pretty easily for a variety of reasons, such as there was too much glue in the groove beforehand, or the tool wasn't right next to the blade and therefore the wire got strained and broke, or possibly the wire was already broken and just wasn't realized, so you came to the end of it and it just popped up there. And in that case, it can be a little tricky to get the wire going again to keep going with this rolling method. The second drawback is there's no guarantee that the groove will be entirely completely cleaned without a lot of scrubbing with acetone. So as we discussed before, the scraping will get you pretty well there and might even take off everything, but there is still the possibility that there will be poor contact and popped wires later. And there you go, your blade is well on its way to being prepared for rewiring. I'll have a couple more videos on other preparation techniques to make sure that your blade is ready to go for the gluing process, and then a couple videos on the actual gluing process that you can use. So make sure to stay tuned for those. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or other topics you'd like me to cover, let me know down below. See you in the next one. Bye.